Hello everyone, my name behind the camera is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you back to another video on my channel. This time it's going to be another drawing showcase. I told you all I would be getting into showing off more of my drawings, and even though I do feel some of the ones I'm going to show you today, I have shown off at some point in time, probably within the last year or so. Well, since most of them are new, probably would have to be within the last year and a half or so. I still want to show you, so I can show you what I've been working on lately, and what I'm currently working on, which is kind of this little pile over here, what I'm currently working on. And let's get started. Move that in closer. And here we are. You're going to be seeing a bunch of wrestling drawings early on because from probably around September last year to about last month, I was on like a big wrestling drawing kick, and this right here is an indie wrestling drawing, like the best of the indies. The wrestlers I feel best, represented the indie wrestling, which in my opinion would have been the 2000s. So right here you got pretty much like the CM Punk in the front, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Chris Hero, Super Dragon, Kevin Steen, El Generico, Daniels, Low-Key, Austin Aries, and Bryan Danielson. I think it turned out pretty good overall, especially the likes of like AJ Styles and Punk and Low-Key for that matter. And we got another wrestling one, which would be, in my opinion, the women that defined wrestling. A lot of great women throughout history. You got Kana, now known as Asuka. You got Lita, Bull Nakano, Luna Vachon, Mount Fuji, Wendy Richter. A lot of top-notch women, I feel, pretty much defined professional wrestling around the world since freaking like the early 20th century. Like you got freaking like Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah in there. Definitely some women I think that deserve it. This upside down. The best managers in wrestling outside of, I don't have Jim Cornette in here. And when I put this on Facebook and put this on Reddit, people are like, where the hell is Jim Cornette? Well, I'm sorry, I only had enough room for certain people. I had to put Bobby the Brain Heenan in the front. And you got the likes of the Grand Wizard, Paul Bearer. You got Miss Elizabeth and Mr. Fuji. And you got James Mitchell, which I totally believe deserves to be on something like this. Captain Lou Albano and all the likes, all these people. I thought I think it turned out pretty good, especially the likes of like James Mitchell and Bobby Heenan and Mr. Fuji. Okay, there's some blank pages here. Wait, why do I have blank paper here? Give me a second. Right here. The best of luchador wrestling, Latino, Mexican wrestling legends. I love this one, how it turned out. Have all the Guerreros in the middle. You have Conan and Super Crazy, La Parca, Mil Mascaras, Chavo Jr. as well. You got like Blue Demon and like all these wrestlers, Super Crazy, Rey Mysterio Jr. This is a drawing that a lot of these wrestling drawings, actually, I shouldn't even say a lot of them. All of them I've been putting on Twitter and attaching the actual wrestlers to them and tagging them in it. That drawing right there got me a lot of responses because Conan liked it. Psychosis liked it. Super Crazy liked it. Juventud liked it. And La Parca. All the these top people besides like Ray and Chavo pretty much liked it. I would have loved to get a response from one of the Guerreros, but stuff happens. Japanese legends. The best wrestlers that I feel came out of Japan, which this is obviously just like the Mexican one, the women one. Obviously, I could do more drawings over, and there's people obviously missing from here, but I definitely would say these are some of the biggest legends from wrestling over in Japan. You got Antonio Inoki, you got Hayabusa, Ultimo Dragon, the first Tiger Mask, Giant Baba, the Great Muta, Jushin Liger, Taka Michinoku, Masahiro Chono, a bunch of great legends. I think this turned out amazing. This is probably one of my favorites so far. It's currently my background on my Facebook page. I haven't changed it yet. Partially because I'm lazy, but also because I love it a lot. ECW 98-99. You got Raven in there. You got Shane Douglas, Tommy Dreamer. You got Sandman and Rob Van Dam, New Jack, and the Dudleys and everything. This one really was. This was the first drawing I did that actually got some sort of response from wrestlers. I got a response from Raven. I got a comment from Sabu, and I got a like from Raven and Rob Van Dam. So this one I actually really like. Then we have WCW from 98-99. You got the likes of Hulk Hogan, Sting, DDP, Chris Jericho, Goldberg, Bret Hart, and Ric Flair. And even though he's not in the drawing, there's a small little reference to Kevin Nash, who is on the championship belt, which you can't see, but whatever. I like this one a lot. This one turned out good, especially Hogan. A lot of people said that Hogan looks really good. And then we have WWF 98-99. So this would have been probably the road to like WrestleMania 15. You got Austin, Triple H, Kane, Rock, Mankind, and The Undertaker. This is the start of me doing all those wrestling drawings. This one doesn't matter. These are just drawings from work. But if you want to look at them, this is a coworker from work. He wanted drawings. I did a drawing of Rodney Mullen, one of the best skateboarders ever. It turned out pretty good. Actually, I found a picture off Google that was of some generic skater, and I just drew Rodney Mullen over it. And I think it turned out pretty good. It's a very cartoonishly, like, kind of caricature of Rodney Mullen. Got a picture of the Hulk. I think this is a cover from one of the comics that I recreated outside the background, which I changed it to, like, the whole, like, green, energy type, coming from him kind of thing. We got the Joker, the new Joker, That's Life. This one turned out, I love how this one turned out. I had this put on the wall at work, and for almost a year, they never took it down. Then they took it down. An F-Zero one, I just basically drew Captain Falcon with a bunch of the F-Zero characters drawn in the background. I kind of mixed, I found a picture of Captain Falcon, I think from Smash Brothers, and then I kind of mixed elements of like the original Super Nintendo comic book. When you guys are old like me, the original F-Zero came with a little comic, and Captain Falcon had some sort of designs on it. So that's why you kind of see certain elements of it in here, like on the gloves and on his chest. Then we have Spider-Gwen, which I just threw a background in with like a brick wall kind of design. And this is one of the covers, I think, just like the Hulk one. I think that turned out pretty good. I recreated that quite well. Then we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which this is based off the cover of the original graphic novel from the 80s. And I just kind of took elements from like the 80s cartoon, like the 2012 animated series. I think the 2003 one a little bit too. Just threw little elements on them, just very, very minor ones. Oh, now it pops in. Oh, thank you. Now you get the chance to actually look at it. So it's basically recreated that. And it turned out great. I love that one. Then we have a Doom drawing. I drew Doom Guy. It was basically, the stance was, I think, of Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein. And I just threw a Doom Guy over it and mixed elements from the new Doom Guy and then classic Doom Guy. And then drew a bunch of demons in the background. Great stuff. Then we have Samus and Metroid drawings. I just drew the villains around her and a baby Metroid, which I definitely now am starting to get into some. I think I have shown you at some point, but there's a lot of newer viewers on my channel that probably have not seen some of these drawings. So here it is, a Metroid drawing. There you go. Devil May Cry. All based off their designs from Devil May Cry 5, but I took stances and design, from older ones. The stance for Dante is based off 3, for Nero is based off 4, and then DMC for Virgil. And I just drew their designs from the latest game, which I think turned out quite good. Then we have another wrestling drawing, Mankind. I think Mr. Sacco turned out great. The mask and everything else could have probably used a little bit of work, but I think Mr. Sacco turned out great. Then we have Eddie Guerrero. I need to work on his right arm a little bit, but this was a drawing I think I did like back in end of 2019, I think. Early 2020, maybe. Somewhere in there. But I think it turned out good. It was around the time he won the title, which definitely I know I'm getting into drawings I've shown you guys before. But there's going to be some more stuff in a second. Bloodstained. I drew basically all the main characters from like the 2D ones, and they all showed up in the 3D one as well, Ritual at Night. It's an awesome game. Given how much I love Castlevania, I love this series too, and I hope for the best with this going forward. This is an incomplete drawing, but I'm going to show you anyways. I'm doing a Sailor Moon. I pretty much have her mostly drawn, just need to fix a little bit of stuff here and there and draw a little bit more detail in it, and then you have all the other Sailor Guardians around it with Tuxedo Mask. It's definitely not finished, and I've been sitting on that drawing for like months upon months. I think last year I started and I got that far, and then I got into that wrestling habit and have not went back since. These are those. Let me make sure I got all these drawings put back where they were. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to finish it off with what I'm currently working on. And that is a bunch of voice actors, which you don't see that this person's not even started yet, so it's pretty much barely started. Let me get started with the one that actually has. Okay, here we go. Mr. Yakko himself, you know, Gray Fox and Twin Snakes and whatnot. Hey, look, it's Todd Habercorn. Like I said, what these drawings are going to be is I'm going to put like various characters they voiced over them. This is going to be Yuri Lowenthal, very early stages. Richard Stephen Horwitz, if you remember as Billy or Zim, that's him. He's done. Don't have his characters in there yet, but he turned out quite good. Mr. Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, which my cousin loved this so much. I actually think it turned out great. I sent it to him on Twitter. You want to know how many responses I got from him? 0. I expected that. And, of course, Vic Mignogna with various characters he's voiced. He's the furthest, because he's the one I started with. And after that point, I just kind of like, you know what, I want to get through drawing the actual voice actors first, and then I'll go back and do the characters and whatnot, which I still haven't finished him yet. And that's it for these drawings. So far, this drawing update, I hope you guys liked it. Put in the comment section what you think. What's your favorite drawing I showed you here today? And what would you like to see me draw? Maybe I can start doing that. Give me some ideas to draw. My name is Thunderswan. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. And I'll see you all later. Bye, everyone.